Hi, my name is Liz, and I'm here to share my research about what it means to measure the desirability of urban parks using social, economic, and environmental indicators. So there is no one definition of urban park. As we go through this presentation, you'll see a variety of examples of diverse urban parks that serve different cultural needs within a given community. So urban parks are designed and used by different cultures, different environments, and their design varies quite a lot. In the United States, Olmsted defined urban parks as naturalized passive retreats from the effects of industrialization and urbanization on humans in the 19th century. Writing much later, Yoon, when studying urban parks in Singapore, used the definition of any public area of land set aside for aesthetic, educational, recreational, or cultural use by the public amidst essentially urban surroundings. So here we have in Singapore, Gardens by the Bay. We're seeing some really high-tech structures soaring off the ground, and they collect solar energy to power a nightly light show. This is one example of a desirable urban park in Singapore. Urban parks offer several health, social, economic benefits for human residents. They can also contribute to healthy ecosystems in an urban environment. Because the study of urban parks crosses so many academic fields, it's going to be really important to narrow one's focus when studying what it means for an urban park to be desirable. This could focus on a geographic region, a cultural region, or a social group even. Here in Ankara, and this will be important as we move into the next slide, this very, very large park, the largest in Ankara, features a Ferris wheel, other similar rides, and seems to be a much more infrastructure-heavy park. So speaking of socio-political indicators of park desirability, Akar and Oya, when they're writing in 2015 in their article, they examined the desirability of this the park in the slide that I had just shown. They used indicators such as physical access, such as gates or fees. How open is this park? Social or symbolic access, access to activities, and access to information about what was going on in the park, what was coming up, and could members of the community actually have a say in how the park was going to change or improve in the future. In a later study in 2019, researchers in Portland, Oregon found that fear, access, and costs contributed to reduced park visitation by non-white residents, whereas white residents felt as though having parks in their community increased their place attachment, so how much they felt attached to their place, to be blunt. Here in Indianapolis, Indiana, we have White River State Park on the screen. This park features paths that encourage visitors to move through the park rather than linger. So there's rentable watercraft, there's multiple paths all throughout the park. So it's one that's really designed to be a transitory experience for visitors. If we're looking at economic indicators of park desirability, Engstrom and Gren in 2017 found that the nearer a piece of real estate, a home, say, or a business is to an urban park, the higher the value of that asset. So that's something interesting to consider as we research the given desirability of an urban park. Here is an image of Central Park in New York City, which I mentioned earlier when talking about Olmsted and his influence on park design in the United States especially. This park features really wide open green spaces in a heavily dense city in the United States. And this location invites visitors to relax. There's also recreational trails, and property values in and around the park are higher than they would be in other locations in the city because of their proximity to Central Park. If we're looking at environmental indicators of park desirability, Jing and Brimblecombe found in their study of Hong Kong just recently in 2020 that the environmental or ecosystem services that urban parks provided, like air filtration, microclimate regulation, noise reduction, were hugely desirable for urban parks in Hong Kong. This is an image from Denver's Washington Park. Recreational, social, we have all sorts of desirable things seen here just in this one image. So urban parks intersect social, economic, political, environmental fields of study. Understanding those indicators is going to be key in researching what it means for a park to be desirable. And once we understand that, managers can design better green spaces. Here's a list of references. I'm glad to share this in a Word doc format so that anybody interested could look them up a little bit more easily. Thank you so much, and I'll look forward to hearing your feedback.